this part here, how to enhance the cash flow position so that after we go through the stress test again, it become a positive. So back to Chi Hui now.
Okay. So after the stress test, as mentioned by Dang, if your cash flow start having problem, so is that way to improve the cash flow or not? So it's very straightforward because our cash flow only have two elements. One is income and one is expenses. Still, can we still increase our income at this time or not? It's a big question, right? You have lost your income from a traditional business. If you lost income due to reduction in your salary, can you still improve your income or not? In Chinese, we call 开源节流. Okay, how to have? Can you have new source of income or not? Show you an example. I have friends, both actually my friends, both in IT. Suddenly, this IT guy, I saw him selling vegetable online. Oh, what? Oh, he because he's on unpaid leave now. He have no income, so he have friends to selling vegetables. So he have helped to set up the platform and help the friends to sell foods, vegetable online and get some commission out of that. I have a ladies friend also from IT because I myself actually an IT graduate, so I have many clients and friends from IT. Now also stay at home. So what he do? He like to bake. He's selling cakes online. Very nice, beautiful, and delicious cakes. And it's not cheap. One cake can be cost you 100 over ringgit. Okay, this is new source of income. So we have to think out of the box. We have to think a way to increase our income. And many friends also selling some kind of health products or supplements. Okay, make sure it's safe make sure it's safe to be consumed. And there can be a direct sales product, I don't know. But find ways to increase income before we look into ways to reduce the expenses. This is to help us to conserve as much cash at this moment. So if we can increase income, good. What if we have at this moment we have not acquired new skill? Most of the time we know new habit to go into to explore new income source. So we have to look at our expenses. So and then we after look at this, we have to go into our asset and liability and restructure it. How to do so? Okay, of course the government. Then you may go to a next. The government also have helped us to reduce our expenses. How? Okay, I think most of us know about the 6-month automatic moratorium, which is automatic that if you are paying your housing loan, you are paying your car loan for the next 6 months, starting from April, you will not need to pay your housing loan, a car loan, a personal loan. Okay, but credit card loan you still have to pay. Okay, for the next 6 months. Of course, you can choose to opt out. I will encourage everyone, whether you are affected by your income or not, try not to opt out from this 6-month deferment of your loan payment to conserve as much as cash in your account so that you minimize the outflow. So and then if you still feel difficulty, there also a program called a 3 months deferment of a premium, life insurance premium that's going to due soon. Okay, look into your policy, see which are the big premium policy are going to due soon. Talk to your life insurance agent or financial advisor whether you should defer and whether you qualify. This is not automatic. Okay, this is different from the 6-month bank loans moratorium. This you need to apply. If you qualify, you can save another because most of Malaysians are paying about 5 to 10% of our income into life insurance premium. So if you can opt for this 3 months deferment, at least you can save some of your cash outflow. Just now from the bank alone, most of Malaysians are paying about 30 to 50% of their income to housing loan and car loan. That's a lot, right? So if you have this 6-month deferment of housing and car loan, this gives you a good time really to readjust, okay, restructure your cash flow and see what are the way you can conserve as much cash as possible. Of course, if you're employee or employer, there are subsidies, there are wages subsidy program. Okay, if you're employee, you can, if you think your boss haven't looked at this solution, okay, you can talk to your employer whether they opt for this wages subsidy program. As long as your income is less than 4,000, your employer can apply for you. Or employee retention program for those who actually subscribe, okay, to the employee insurance scheme. Of course, there also you have your small business owner. You can also look at other incentive, also the special relief fund, and also some of the SME loan that offer and program by local bank, but initiated by the bank. So this is so important that you look at resources and help from government and from the private sector in conserve as much cash as possible, right? But you must understand how to do it. If you need more information, of course, you can check with us. Okay, you can check with your internal insurance, you can check with us. Also, your insurance agent also can check if you have an accountants. You can also check with accountants. Okay, we are more than happy to help you to find the solution.
Okay.
So the next one is, I give you an example. Okay, we can go to a next slide. I give you an example. Okay, as I mentioned, most of our income, our expenses will be going to loan, shelter, and also the car loan on transport, food. If you are married with kids, your child with childcare and child education and own insurance. And for shelter, for housing loan, if you can you do not opt out for the moratorium, you can save around 20 to 30% of your expenses already for the next 6 months. Okay, car loan about 10 to 15%. Okay, you can save now 10 to 15%. And with all this saving, even though your salary cut by 50%, you are safe. Because if you can survive your 50% of salary for the next 6 months, you are temporarily safe, I would say. Then we look at what are the resources you have. You have to look at your liquid asset. You have to look at the investment asset. Okay, what are the assets that we can turn into cash to increase your cash position? All right, that's what I'd like to share with you.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. Before I go to Stanley on the business owner side, for those, I think this is actually there are many information in this chart here from the support from the government. So, and also to look into the insurance policy, where some of the insurance policy, they can make certain adjustment to actually create cash position for them. So if let's say you really need to know about your insurance policy to do a review of this, and you don't have someone that to help you, because we are able to access to 12 insurance company, our consultants are trained into knowing all these things. If you really need help and also need to know about the information of this subsidy, please let us know as well. And if you really need to do this, let us know by putting six to let us know that, hey, yeah, I need to know more about this information, that we probably can then, maybe do another session to just talk about this subsidy. What are the subsidy available by the government to help you to increase your cash flow? So if you want to know more about this information on what are the government subsidy or support package that provided by the government, please write six. Please write 6 so that we know that someone or some of you want to know about this thing. Please put 6 in order for us to know that I want to know what are the subsidy that available by the government to help me or the employee to actually overcome the cash flow issue. And we can also, please, if let's say you're an employee and you want to help your employer, like what you mentioned just now, please tell your employer that, hey, actually you can look for this company or this financial advisor consultant to help you to understand more and see how can we work together to overcome this crisis together. So Stanley, maybe we can enhance much more about what Chewy just now mentioned about the subsidy by the government. Maybe there are many information here. Maybe you pick a few important one, and then maybe we can run another session that just talk about this subsidy by the government for the SME.
Yeah, because of the time restriction as well. So I'll not share. Actually, there are in total about 13 tips I can give to you, but I'll just pick few of the important points that I wish to share with you. Okay. So first of all, back to earlier slide 10. Okay. First of all, we are talking about loan moratorium up to 6 months. Apart from the individual, yes, for corporate loan, for SME loans, for your term loans, is also applicable to the SME as well for up to 6 months. But you need to take into consideration of the impact of the interest charges okay, based on the simple calculation method for 6 months, okay. And second, if your company have bought a lot of the what we call that a key man insurance or buy sell insurance, okay, or tax cancellation policies, right? So eventually you also can apply what we call as a premium moratorium through your financial advisor or insurance agents, okay. But this one is not applicable to group and general policy, okay. So some of my clients, they started to call me, is there any way that we can do what we call that premium saving strategy during this period? Yes, we can help you to review on that, because there are also some of the policies in Malaysia. We are talking about huge sum assured but very cheap premium. Example like a 5 years renewable term offered by few of the providers in Malaysia, or eventually there's also an annual renewable term. Let's say you have a very short term loan, maybe less than 5 years, and maybe you have a developments with another party that you need to have what we call as a partnership insurance. So you can go for what we call as an annual renewable term or 5 renewable term that will eventually save you a lot of premium, and you can utilize whatever excess premium to pay for your other overheads. Do come to us on that if you need any inquiry. Okay, and I would say during this critical period, the financial stress test will be critical, very, very important. This is the first step you need to go through with your auditor and accountants. Okay, you need to put in what if analysis in your cash flow statement. Okay, let's say if the MCO extended by 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, okay, or the post MCO event, you'll be impacted your business operation maybe for another 6 months to 9 months. So how is the cash flow impacted to your bottom line? You need to put in what we call as a stress test and the what if analysis to make the things more visualized to you. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are the employer in town, if you are the SME in town, have you consulted with your accountant or auditor on how to apply all types of the subsidies from our beloved government? We have a wages subsidy program, we have a ERP program, we have a HRDF levy exemptions, and if you engage a lot of foreigner workers, you can enjoy 25% of the levy as well. Okay. And fifth, I would say very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, you need to start to talk with your employee, especially your critical employee, okay, like the HOD or their sales and marketing manager, because their human capital cost might be quite substantial to the overall company's overheads. So are you willing to talk with your key employee and negotiate with them if they are able to lower down their basic salary, and in return, you might able to give them maybe 1% or 2% of your share. So instead of an employer-employee relationship, now we become a buddy, we become a buddy of the company, and we can go through the disaster together. So I think this will be good advice. And I already started to talk to my few of my SME clientele. Eventually, they wish to engage us to do what we call as a visualized cash flow statement for their key employee. Because some of the key employee, eventually, let's say I pay you 10,000, right? Actually, you just need 6,000 to survive for the whole family. So during this period, are you willing to lower down your salary from 10,000 to 6,000? And after that, I will compensate you with other solutions. So I think this is a win-win workable solution for employer and employee. And eventually, we can hold hand in hand together and go through this disaster. Okay, so we have started to receive a lot of inquiries on this part actually. Okay, and number 6, I believe your tax consultant have notified you. Okay, eventually your monthly installment, the CP204, you can be delayed for next 6 months. And after 6 months, if you feel that your business performance is not as per usual, you can always do what we call as a revisions of tax installment. Okay, so maybe at the moment, every month you are paying 20,000, example. So I feel that my business is being impacted. So I'm only willing to pay 10,000 for the time being. So if indirectly you have adjusted your cash flow to be more optimized. And number 7, ladies and gentlemen, if your company is doing well, you have a lot of properties and assets, so you can start to negotiate with your banker and do some refinancing on part of the existing properties. Maybe I have a factory I bought 10 years ago, or I bought 5 years ago. Okay, it's about 10 million, but now due to the market revaluations, so the balance sheet figure might be up to 12 million or 15 million. So we can use the gap to do the refinancing. And I believe most of the SME bank they are really happy to borrow you the money. And point number 7, we are talking about loan financing again. Okay, it depends whether your business is go for within 3 years or more than 3 years. If within 3 years, basically, it's really hard for you to get SME loan, friendly, because they need your audited financial statement for past 3 years. So during this scenario, what you can do is you can always go for CGC. Okay, CGC, the maximum loan granted is about 300,000. Interest rate is about 6.5%. Okay, for scheme micro BSM is only applicable for. Sorry.
Sandy, maybe we leave this for another session so that we get more business partner to business owner. I think it's so important. Is it so so that we can actually have more detail. Let's run through. So maybe there are many so-called important information here that I hope that we can actually organize another session just for business owner to come in and listen to us. So